Like there's another step so you'll stomp on it.
Oh.
Just where everything is really antiques. You can go in the rooms. Just don't touch anything on the tables or anything.
Well, you gotta be careful not to touch anything in here, because I feel like there's this older female making sure nobody messes anything up. You know, so I think there's, I don't know who she is, but she wants everything to be neat and tidy, so she's running around a little, doesn't want us to, she wants everything neat and tidy and presentable and just right. So we just walked in the front door, and this is Elk Lick House. This feels very prim and proper in here. This feels like a very structured family. The children are very tightly controlled. Controlled may not be the right word, but well-mannered. And taught. This feels like good parenting, but strict parenting. You know, where they were very aware of what was right and wrong, and what was proper and improper, and how you spoke and behaved, and how you didn't. And so I'm sensing a man in here. It feels like the father. And it feels like he's nice. There's a lot of reading going on in this room. They would probably read to the kids in here. So education is very important here. Well, this is a really nice family energy in here. The man feels, yeah, kind of strict, but not mean. Very loving. And I feel like the children here would have had a real head start on life as far as being well educated and learning how to appropriate etiquette and how to converse and how to show respect and how to behave when you went to church or anywhere social.
That's what I was going to say. I get the sense that there was Bible study in this room, but as well as needlepoint. Like, who knows?
So this feels very, very nice, and I'm seeing an older lady with a bonnet, or I don't know if it's a bonnet, I guess it's a bonnet, it's something she would put over her head. And so everything here is very nice. This is a nice, very, very tight, strong family. As if somebody feels like somebody maybe took sick in here. Like maybe a man took sick, couldn't breathe. People in this house really loved each other and valued each other. It was almost a formal. They dressed well. They dressed up.
I feel sad in this room.
Yeah, like somebody took ill. Yeah, I feel an old man in here, probably died in here. I think his wife maybe took care of him. Wife or daughter. He's pretty old.
But this wouldn't have been a bedroom with the two doors, would it?
Oh no, probably not, but
It's
maybe
not
there was a
what it
daybed in
appears
here.
to be. That's just
Hey, Baker?
Yeah?
Would you want to know if your impressions are correct? Because she is the site historian.
Oh, I don't know, do we? I guess.
They did used to have, in this room, when someone died, they would have the layout in here.
Oh, there
Okay.
we go. Okay, yeah, that makes
Because they
sense.
didn't have funeral homes back
Correct.
then. They were
Right.
laid out in the house.
In the house, exactly. But these people were very, very appropriate. And, you know, the women had those real long sleeves and the real long dresses. And there was almost kind of like something about the length of the sleeve they were careful that the sleeve didn't ride up the arm. So I feel like there might have been like a ribbon or something to keep the sleeve down. You know what I mean? There was something, I don't think they wanted like the wrists showing too much.
The wrist or their ankles, probably.
Huh? Yeah. So, there's something,
That goes with the prim and proper.
Right. Very ladylike to not show wrists or ankles, and to make sure they were covered. Something about that was somewhat important at that time. We weren't in here yet? There's an old lady in residual energy in here. I see her praying, I see her worrying, I see her taking care of people, taking care of the kids, taking care of the old man. She was prayed quite a lot. It feels like she talked to herself.
Picture.
Mm-hmm. What?
Your sleeves.
Oh, look at that, and look at the way this is folded. Yeah, this definitely would cover the wrists. Yeah, and you know what? Dinner was a fun time here. This would be a happy home at dinner time. People are more relaxed, they're eating, they're in a good mood. People are getting fed. Obviously, food's really important. And I mean, important, of course food's important to stay alive, but it's more, what do I mean by important? I mean, they really appreciated the food. It was almost as if food was a way that God blessed the family. And then they had something about having the hands up above the table. They didn't want the hands down below. I think that might have been part of the manners or etiquette of the time. And then when do you begin the meal? Nobody begins the meal until probably the father begins the meal.
Right.
So there's a real formality, as you sense throughout this entire house, and a formal upbringing, but with warmth, with heart, and with love. This was this would be a kind of a wonderful family to be a part of. Really nice, very a nice way about them. It's gentle, and yet you knew what was expected of you. There were definite rules.
Right.
But if you transgressed, you're not going to be like yelled at or tortured. You're just going to be corrected.
Correct. And the little boy just kind of tends to be the one that, if there were a dog, he would be the one that's the food. And they took great joy in him. He was a cute little boy, but
he's a boy.
I just get that there was some smiling and laughing, and
Oh yeah, and I think this
at
little
times
boy
chasing him.
Did you notice? Are you picking up that he had quite the personality?
Oh, he was, and the Charlie is the name I keep getting. But he's the little boy that, if he could get caught feeding the chickens or going out and doing something, maybe finding a little bit of dirt on him, that was the child that they had to tend to.
Sure.
But
he's
a joy.
little, isn't he? I mean...
What's that?
I see him little.
Like this tall.
Okay, to me he looks even smaller than that.
Yeah, he was just a fun little kid, but
When they would take a stroll or a walk, the man was very proud. He had a pocket watch. And they would walk and greet people in a very somewhat formal way, but courtesy, very well mannered. And I'm wondering whether this man may have been an orator, somebody that might have spoken in a church or spoken in front of a group. I kind of get the impression that he would have done some of that. Oh yeah. There's a meaner energy in here. Like I'm sensing a man in here who, unlike the highly polished family there, there's a rougher man in here. He would have like yelled at people and been more dominating. It makes me wonder whether he's in charge of the farm or in charge of getting things done, or
Not necessarily a family member?
probably not. Not that family, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No way. This guy would have been a lot more crude. There's nothing crude about that family over there.
Right.
Oh, so here's the kitchen, and then it does loop around here. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting like tightness in my chest. Is that like heart disease? What is that? Feels like it's heart related.
No, I just feel stress.
Oh, is that what that's?
I don't know.
How you're interpreting that as
Yeah,
stress?
Like stress, like, oh, it's just so much to do.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get this done. I gotta get the breakfast done, and I gotta go back and clean up, and
They kept their helpers very busy. So there would have been a lot of work in here. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I feel stress and feel people were.
maybe just not enough help.
So you put your canned goods and
Yeah, but I think kids would play in here every now and then. This would have been well stocked. Very well stocked. They had jams, preserves. And this was a source of pride. Look at all the food we have. You know what else I'm seeing in here? This is kind of interesting. I'm seeing secret little notes being left for people. Are you picking up on that at all? Kind of like, let's say there's all these jars in here, and one person would leave a little note for somebody else to find it, and they would communicate in a way that was unseen. Maybe forbidden communications would take place
they just found a
surreptitiously.
secret love story.
Yeah,
There-
there's definitely something.
Oh boy.
So it's just the two rooms here, or?
Yeah.
Oh my God, a coffin.
Yeah.
This is a pretty good sized room. Because I feel like this is where men would hang out in here and maybe kind of smoke and arm wrestle and play cards and drink. Kind of their secret little
Yeah.
place.
Kind of that scent too.
Do you smell something like that, or?
Yeah. I mean, it's musty.
It smells smoky, like a musty, smoky
Yeah,
smell.
Like cigars.
Oh, really? Wow. Yeah, and I think there would have been a lot of I just see a bunch of drunk guys kind of with this bromance stuff. Like they would wrestle and,
Drink.
just, do man stuff.
The gentleman's room.
Yep. Poker.
The man
These
cave.
people- I don't think these people are gentlemen like the guy in the first part of the house. These are more, I don't know who these guys are, but they're drunk. In here, I do feel like the presence of a nervous woman. I wonder if it's that same one I felt downstairs in that room with the bed. Kind of nervous. I feel I'm sensing little babies in here too, like an infant, or like where a baby might have been born in here. Like this is like a brand new baby, like.
Like the nursery and the children and the parents across the hall.
Yeah, I think this is. I do feel like the ladies, young women taking care of the babies. Yeah, this does feel. I do sense child energy in here. Do you?
Yeah.
I'm even seeing like a little pinwheel.
Yeah,
That would catch the wind.
The toys, there weren't a lot of toys like there are now, but just maybe a couple
Simple things.
simple things that were well loved and well played with.
I'm also sensing like oil lamps up here.
the stove.
Thank God these buildings were saved. These are hardworking people, horseback. This is just, I just am totally enjoying this. Yeah, you know what, I feel male energy in this room. Why would I feel male energy in here?
Boys' room?
It feels like an adult male. So it's possible that this may not have been a kid's room originally.
Well, you-
I feel death in here too. So I think several people died in this house. Yeah, I see the kids coming down the stairs and the nanny kind of helping them down the steps. And everybody would have went in the kitchen to eat. This is the informal dining room, because we got a formal one up there.
That's right.
So
But this is the old house.
Right.
maybe
This was the original dining room.